to the Binge List. I am your host, Paul Chappell, and we are recapping Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episodes 3 and 4. Power Broker, and the whole world is watching. I just have to say, wow, we've entered James Bond territory, guys. A lot of action, a lot of intrigue. Basically, you got Bucky and Sam deciding that they need a new lead, and they have to recruit Zemo because for some reason Zemo was obsessed with super soldiers. And I don't remember that being the case at all. I haven't watched Captain America Civil War in a long time, but it seemed to me like Zemo was obsessed with Hydra, not because he was obsessed with super soldiers and the Winter Soldier program or whatever they said in that episode, but because he was going to use Bucky as a means to an end. Meaning he framed Bucky for the murder of T'Chaka, Black Panther's father, and that just created all this turmoil. So I feel like they kind of retcon Zemo a little bit. It's interesting, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense when we find out that he's a Baron, and like the monarchy is the original supremacist organization. The fact that he's a Baron and didn't, like, I don't know, you abdicate from being a Baron, but the fact that he's a Baron and has all this money that he was born with doesn't make a lot of sense if you look at it in that context. But whatever, I'll go with it. The whole point is Zemo has a lead on some super soldiers, or he knows somebody that can point him towards someone who might know something about super soldiers. And this was really just an excuse to get Zemo in the story, because the guy playing Zemo, Daniel Bruhl, he's a great actor. I like him. He's very charismatic, but he's having way too much fun. And that whole prison scene where he just walks out of prison, I've watched that scene like 4 or 5 times, and I still don't understand how Bucky helped him do it. How did Bucky get the card into that book? Because it's some kind of key card thing. And then later we see Zemo actually fight a guard and stash him in the bathroom and use his card. So did he have 2 cards? I still don't get that scene. If you know or understand how that scene went down, please let me know in the comments, because I haven't figured it out. But whatever, we get to go to Madripoor, which is a fictional city based on Singapore. I don't even know why they bothered to create this city when they could just use Singapore in the comic books. But this is a fixture of the X-Men comics, so this is giving a lot of people hope that they will integrate the X-Men into the MCU now. And I'm not falling for it. I'm saying it right now, I'm not falling for it. They did this in WandaVision when they cast Evan Peters, Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. I fell for it just like everybody else. I thought it meant something. It didn't mean anything. So, no, I'm not falling for it this time. But Madripoor was pretty cool. They get a lead on a guy creating super soldier serum. He works for somebody called the Power Broker. And the person, actually it's a woman that lets them in on this information. She gets murdered, I think, by Sharon Carter. That wasn't too clear for me either. But Sharon Carter saves them because there's a bounty put on Sam and Bucky's head, and Zemo's, I guess. But Sharon Carter has been on the run since Captain America Civil War, which also I didn't understand, because it seems like everybody involved in that incident got pardoned. So why didn't she get a pardon? Who knows? But for whatever reason, she didn't get a pardon, and Sam offers to help her in that regard if she takes them to this super soldier scientist, which is what they do. And Sharon has this kick-ass moment where she kills like 15 guys or something. I don't know. Seems to be a theme in Disney television shows right now, and movies for that matter. Woman power or female warriors, whatever you want to call it, are just everywhere. They were in The Mandalorian. in a Star Wars trilogy. It's just a theme that Disney seems to be going with now. Do I have a problem with it? Not really. There was some badass freaking scenes, especially in episode 4 when that Dora Milaje she disconnects Winter Soldier's arm. That was awesome. That was an awesome scene. But overall, I enjoy the girl power stuff. And I can't really fault them for doing it. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger had me believing that I could kill the whole Mexican army if I just worked out enough. I mean, so that was the fantasy I grew up with. Can I fault them for creating the same fantasy for little girls? No. So I did enjoy that. But yeah, we're even seeing that the main villain is a female and that she's kicking a lot of ass. The only problem I would say with this is that I feel like they made 3 steps forward by having all these strong female leads, but then we went 4 steps back, because what do they do in the 4th episode? They track the Flag Smashers down, and through the melee or whatever you want to call it, Battlestar is killed, creating the same trope that they used in Captain America Civil War when Rhodey or War Machine got injured, which was a variation on what happened in the Civil War II comic book when War Machine actually dies, and it creates this great rift between Iron Man and Captain Marvel. So this trope of killing a black man so a white hero goes over the edge, which is what happens with Captain America. It's just I'm tired of it. It just happens way too much. Why can't the white hero die? Let the black guy go over the edge. So I was kind of disappointed that they decided to do that, because from my research, and I'm not a big Captain America guy as far as the comic book concerned. I became a big fan when the movies came out, of course. But from what the research I could do, Battlestar doesn't die in the comics. I also mentioned that they killed a black guy in Civil War I comic or comic series. They killed Goliath. It's just a trope I wish Marvel would leave alone. But whatever. We had a lot of good scenes. We see Captain America or John Walker finally go over the edge, and he's presented with that dilemma on whether he should take the super soldier serum when he gets it from Carly Morgenthau. In fact, Zemo is like, there was a great scene where Zemo's just stepping on all the vials, and then Captain America sees that, or John Walker sees that vial, and you're like, is he going to take it? I mean, who wouldn't take the soldier serum? Anybody would do that. It's completely understandable. Even Battlestar tells John Walker, hell yes, I'll take the super soldier serum. So I can't fault him for actually taking it, because he's under all this pressure to be Captain America. We see him even breaking down under the pressure at the beginning of episode 3 when they raid that hideout, and he's cursing and he's threatening and all this, doing all this other stuff that Steve Rogers would have never done, especially the cursing. Remember that scene in Ultron?
Shit! Language.
So he finally breaks under the pressure. He has his Homelander moment. A lot of people are comparing this to Homelander from The Boys. And the comparison doesn't work completely, because Homelander is just a homicidal maniac. And John Walker justifiably is enraged because Battlestar gets killed, and he kills a guy in public with his shield. Not a good look, but not totally out of the realm of feasibility. No, I don't know how to feel about John Walker now. But let's talk about some of the great scenes. I've already talked about Winter Soldier a little bit, getting his arm. I still laugh when I think about his arm getting detached. But we had a great scene in Wakanda, actually, where they're trying to see if Shuri's, whatever she did to Winter Soldier, his mind wipe, whatever, they're trying to see if it works. And one of the Dora Milaje repeats the activation words from Hydra, and Bucky kind of feels like it's not going to work, but it does work, and he's so relieved. I really enjoyed that scene. There was a bunch of little moments that I enjoyed throughout both episodes. I love the little the argument they have about Marvin Gaye. And they've made Zemo really woke, and he seems to understand black people a lot better than he should. But I don't know. I'll take it. It was kind of funny. We see that Bucky is carrying around Steve Rogers' little notebook or notepad, and I thought that was interesting that he doesn't really have the same taste as Steve Rogers, but he wants to be Steve so bad. He wants to live up to whatever he thought Steve was, and so he's even copying or listening to or studying whatever is in that little notebook. I think one of them was Steve Jobs, another one was Apple, another one was Marvin Gaye, and all these other things. But he's still so much a 40s guy, and he says that. I love 40s music. But I enjoyed that scene. I enjoyed the... I think this show is a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. I like that when Sam and Bucky are running outside the nightclub, and Sam yells out, "I can't run in these heels." The whole scene where he's pretending to be this other guy, which was kind of ludicrous because if the other guy has been into this nightclub, wouldn't everybody know how he sounded? Because Sam doesn't change his voice. So I don't understand how that worked. But the fact that Sam has the drink with the, I guess it was cobra venom or something, or I don't know what the guy cut out the cobra, but I thought that was funny because Sam was like, very good. That whole scene where he's pretending to be this guy, it was funny. And the fact that he thinks he looks like a pimp, and Zemo has to straighten him out and say, "Look, only an American will think that." Just so many great interaction. Zemo has kind of taken over the show. I know he escaped at the end of episode 4, but I'm sure he's going to be back because he's a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see what they have in store for the rest of the season. I'm really encouraged by just the character developments. I'm really fascinated by the dilemma that they put John Walker in at the end of the 4th episode. So we'll see how that plays out. Good all around. I know a lot of people complaining about some of the things. I enjoyed everything. So, but yeah, there was some questionable things. But we won't nitpick too much. It is a Marvel movie. Can't, any show about superheroes is going to have its flaws. But that's all I got for today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give me a like or a dislike, whatever. And please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, ring that bell so you know when my next video drops. And I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.